Hello everyone, a very warm welcome again to each one of you for the virtual session of Science Children. I hope you all are doing very well, and I'm very much hopeful that you are keeping your notebook updated. So let us see what are we having in this virtual session of science. Let us see, we are going to begin with a new chapter, Motion and Measurement of Distances, part 1. Since we have finished with all the other aspects of the chapter, which we have done already in the previous session, we had finished with the chapter. So now in this session, we are going to start with a new chapter, Motion and Measurement of Distances. And as a regular practice, you all know you have to put this topic in the index, write today's date, that is the date of the session, and on a new page, write the title, Motion and Measurement of Distances. So, as the name suggests, what are we going to have in this chapter? Let us see first what we are learning in this session. Let us introduce ourselves to some of the concepts for this chapter. Let us see. With the changing times, transport also has gone through various modifications, that is, from animals to the invention of wheels. The evolution of transport is evident when we observe the fast cars, bullet trains, etc. Even today, new modes of transport are being researched upon. So, this introductory part is all talking about the transportation system and how it being advanced during the years. Over the years, lots of advancement and modification in the transportation, and the invention of a wheel was a breakthrough in traveling or in the transportation system, and life become faster because of the wheel. Movement from one distance to another becomes easier. So this was just an introductory part, and the specified points in the video you have to take it down in your notebook, children. So let's go for next. The points which I'm going to specify, you're going to write in the notebook. Just have a look, shows the advancement in transport. Nowadays you will find traffic all over on the roads, so many vehicles, so many types of vehicles on the road because of all the advancement in the transportation system, all the advancement in the vehicles, different types of vehicles, and different models of vehicles. All those add to the traffic, you can see. And the transportation system has made life so easy because the movement from one place to another becomes so easy. Now you have to take down all these points in your notebook, children. So as specified, please do write. Length and distance. Let us see the concept of length and distance. Distance is the measure of how far or long something is. Example, the length of a table or a soccer field, or how far is Mumbai from Delhi. So it is just the measure of how far or long something is. That concept should be very clear. Length can be measured in terms of a unit. A unit is a comparison of an unknown quantity with that of known quantity. So whatever quantity you know, you are comparing with the unknown quantity, and that gives you some idea about the unit. So here you will have, it is required to establish a common standard or convention in order to make calculations and analysis easier worldwide. So if you are weighing 1 kg of rice over here in Mumbai, in Delhi it will also be 1 kg of rice. In the other countries also it will remain 1 kg. So that standard need to be maintained all over the world. Otherwise there will be lots of discrepancies in the measurement of length or distance, or if you weigh anything, you just need to have a standard measurement system. So length is measured in terms of units like centimeter, meter, kilometer. It depends upon what type of length you are measuring. You are measuring a notebook, so you will have to take a unit centimeter, because notebook is not that big enough. So like a bigger length or a larger length, you use meter, or distance between the two places you measure in terms of kilometers. So that different units are being used, and these different units across the globe has to be standardized, if 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter across the globe, that standard unit will remain the same, that conversion will remain the same. I hope this is very clear with you all. So let us go for next. Arbitrary ways to measure the length of width. So this is a non-standard way. It is not standardized ways by which we measure the length or width. Measuring using handspan and measurement by a string were used in ancient times, but these methods are not so reliable, and hence some standard units of measurement have been introduced. So in the olden times, where there was no standard unit or no proper measurement done, or no instrument or device was invented that time, so people used to use handspan or some arbitrary way like using string and all. So that method was not that accurate, and over the years we had devised a method and we had units for the measurements, and that gives you a precise reading, that gives you accurate measurement of the length of width. Please do write all this in your notebook, children. I hope you are writing there. So now let us see the handspan method. This is the way you actually used to measure in the olden days. And nowadays also some rough idea if you want to get for about a length. So you just use your handspan. So the small finger and your thumb, the distance between that, you take it as one handspan, then two handspan like that. So this is not an accurate way of measuring. You just need to have a standard way. Just have a look at this. So non-standard measures, do write in your notebook, children. The lengths of steps, arms, hands or fingers of different people are different. Therefore, the distance measured with their help is not always reliable. These methods are therefore called non-standard measures. So these are non-standard measures where you are using your hands, using your arms or fingers, and that method of measurement is an arbitrary way, that is a non-standard way, because different people will have their measurement of their hands and arms and fingers will be different. It depends upon the sizes of the people. So that is not at all reliable, children. That's why they are called as non-standard measures. What are standard measures then? Measures that are the same all over the world are known as standard measures. Like you are measuring with a measuring tape or a ruler, so that is a standard way, because that is being used everywhere and that will never change. It is reliable and you can get accurate measurement. Please write down these points in your notebook, children. So standard units of measurement, let us see how standard unit of measurement can be done. Earlier the cubit was accepted as a standard unit in Egypt. A cubit meant the length between fingertips and elbow. Owing to the differences in the length of body parts of each person, these arbitrary systems become obsolete. That means the people have stopped using this method, because this cubit method where you are using the body parts, which is not at all reliable, because the size of the body part will differ from people to people. That's why this will not be at all reliable, and that's why people had stopped using this method. Now other units used were foot, end of outstretched arm, and chin, face, etc. So these were some of the non-standard methods which were used, and these are not at all reliable. Nowadays, the international system of units or the SI units have been accepted all over the world as a standard unit of measurement. So this international system of units, or also called as SI units in short form, is accepted all over the world, and this gives you the unit where it is a standard unit and it will remain the same across the globe. I hope the concepts are clear, children. So here we come to an end of the session, children. Please do write all the important points discussed in the session and keep your notebook updated. Thank you, children, and have a wonderful day.